The trouble is that whether you think it is correct or not, this has had a massive impact, hasn't it? Can you assess how damaging this is? I mean, firstly, the White House tried to suppress the book with a cease and desist letter from lawyers. Trump then appeared at a podium to make a statement about it with, a huge number of supporters behind him. He's tweeted repeatedly about it. He's obviously rattled. Is that the right response? Should he have tried to ignore it? Does that give it more sales, as Michael Wolff says?
Well, one of the things that's really interesting is that American politics, and frankly, beyond our politics, but our country has become very polarized. And what this book has done, I think, is really give credence to the president's supporters, that there is a degree of attack out there by the media and Democrats and the left to undermine his legitimacy and his accomplishments. And then on the flip side, I think for those people who are detractors of the president, the book gives credence to all of the concerns that they had. So interestingly enough, I think the book is serving a purpose to both sides of the equation here in America, and allowing whichever side that you fall down. If you're a Trump supporter, this book proves that the press will say and do whatever it takes to undermine Donald Trump. If you are a detractor of Donald Trump, it frankly gives credence, and all these anecdotes allow you to substantiate all the beliefs that you've had about him. So,
I don't think,
in a weird way,
I don't think the book will damage Trump at all, actually, with his base, which is really all he seems to care about. And it may be all he needs to care about. I've travelled a lot around states like Florida and Texas. I was in Missouri recently. And there's no doubt that Trump's base in those places in the middle of America is rock solid. And in a way, they see a book like this as another establishment attack on their guy. I don't see anything in this book as being that damaging. What could be damaging, far more damaging to Donald Trump's chances of re-election, is the breaking news from the Golden Globes tonight that Oprah Winfrey might run for president.
Look, I think Oprah's an icon in this country and, frankly, throughout the world. And she's got a huge following that's really not political. And she clearly, as you point out, speaks very powerfully to women at this point in our political discourse and in our society. So there's no question in my mind she would be extremely formidable. That being said, she doesn't have the political infrastructure, and we've seen this before in our history, where people who have tried to pop in that are not in politics and have had a difficult time adjusting. Clearly, Donald Trump.
Hold on. Sean, the current president of the United States had no political experience. Sean, you were his press secretary. Have you forgotten Donald Trump?
No, hold on. Piers, let me finish the sentence.
Sean,
I said that
your
withstanding.
guy had no experience.
That withstanding.
He was a TV star.
Hold on. Piers, hold on. That withstanding, clearly
raging me away from my gastroenteritis. You're curing it.
You've brought back the Piers model we know and
let me finish.
Recognise.
Let me finish the sentence. I was saying that withstanding, President Donald Trump proves that there is an appetite for outsiders and that you don't necessarily have to have that. The question is, was that an anomaly or is that the new norm? And that's all I'm getting at. I 100% know who I used to work for. But what I'm getting at is that the big question is the Trump presidency and this idea of an outsider, somebody who has no political experience, the new norm, or was it the exception of the rule? And I think if an Oprah Winfrey jumped in, and again, I think it would be on the other side of the political aisle. The question is, that would be the test of that. I think that it's interesting because what you've seen on the left is this real gravitation to who can get further to the left. You've got Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, and over and over again, people are outdoing each other to the left. The question is, can Oprah, if she were to enter a race, really find that sort of center-left road, and is there a constituency large enough for it? Does that celebrity carry over? That's a real unknown question, but there's no question she would be formidable, hands down.
I've interviewed thousands of people in my time, and I've got to say Oprah would be right up there as one of the most impressive people I've ever interviewed. Amazing
She's
story.
Impressive. Yes.
And I think she would be formidable. What a race, though, Sean. Can you imagine Oprah v. the Donald in 2020?
I think that you can't make this stuff up, right? I mean, this would be the clash of titans.
Who would win it?
And like
Who
I said,
would win it, Sean?
Hands down, Donald Trump. But I think that Oprah would give him a run for
Sean, you don't
for
have
his
to
money.
say this stuff anymore.
I understand that. I think that, look, here's where I do believe. If the economy continues to go in the direction it is, one of the things that's the real tell for American politics, are people, are jobs being created, are wages going up? I think the economy right now is going such that right now Trump's approval rating is a lagging indicator. People are concerned a lot about the imagery. There's no question about it. But I think at the end of the day, people are going to look at their own paychecks, their own sense of security, and that's going to really, I think, as this economy blooms. Now, that being said, that X factor is if the economy tanks, if there's a problem or a blip, that's where I think that there's a real opportunity. Okay. But I believe that with the tax cut bill that passed, that's really going to give a lot of running room for the economy to continue to improve.
We've got to leave it short. I totally agree with your summation. As always, the economy will, I suspect, be the trump card either way here.
It's the economy, stupid.
Yeah.
Sean Spicer, thanks very much indeed.